Got a cold steel here. Yeah, this is another one from our man Craig. I mean, I think he supplied me almost with every model they have, but this is the cold steel Engage, and it's got the 3-inch clip point blade on it. House 10 steel, G10 scales. Yep. I reviewed a couple of these Engage models. I say Engage, but I think what I'm talking about is this lock type. But I reviewed the 3.5-inch Engage, and I liked it quite a bit. Pretty cool. But Craig had this 3-inch, and so I was like, yeah, I want to check it out. One of the first things I noticed right away on this 3-inch is how thin it is. This is a really thin knife. Very comfortable. I'm guessing. I mean, I was going to say that I think this knife got some pocket time, but the more I look at this knife, I don't think it has. I don't see any scratches on the stonewash blade. I don't see any wear marks on the scales. Nothing on the clip. I just think it's really knocked down well. It's got steel liners, and the G10 and the steel liners are knocked down really well. Very smooth, very comfortable knife. And I got to admit, I mean, my initial just holding this knife, I think I want one of these. So it's got this, I'm trying to remember what they call that lock. Yeah, okay. It's the Atlas lock. And so I've done, Cold Steel has a couple of different knives with this Atlas lock. It's this here. It's sort of like, I don't know, it's like the Demco Shark lock. You know, it's similar to that in that you disengage it from here. Um, Now on the 3.5 incher, the more I messed with that knife, the more me personally, I kind of figured out that it was meant to be done like that versus versus readjusting the grip and reaching up and disengaging that lock with the index finger and then doing that. I think on the 3.5-inch model, I realized that you're holding the knife when you want to disengage it. It's meant to be operated with the thumb, drop it onto the finger, and then close it. Now, this one definitely functions like I'm describing, but this one also is pretty easy to just reach back like that and grab it with the index and do that. So maybe this one's a little of both. Now, I will say this one's in the Aus 10. They have another version in 3-inch that has the same basic handle shape and setup as the 3.5-inch. This is a little different. So the steel's downgraded, and I believe this one's thinner than that one. And I'm going to try to verify that because I really like how this one feels in hand. If I could get this in S35VN, this exact model right here, the thinner model. I also noticed that even just looking at the shape of the handle, it's different on that other version than this one. Yeah, but I like this action on this one. Very nice. And the ergonomics, man. Pretty cool. Hey, you know what? Let's get in this one. I'm going to take this one apart and let's look at this axis lock. Atlas. I said axis. It's the Atlas lock. And I believe I pull these two pocket screws and this will lift up and off for us. We'll get a good look in there. Clean it up. I don't know that I'm going to do any tuning on it, but we'll clean it up and lube it. Check these washers. So there we go. Come on. Home. Money. So the scale came. Now I want this liner to come. Now I don't want this mechanism to come. That mechanism can stay put. So I think I'm going to get my pry bar and I'm going to pry up in this area here and try to get this to come. There it goes. I felt the spring pop. See, that's what I was worried about. I did not want that spring to fly because it's logged in there like, what's that like? There's another knife that, maybe it'll come to me. The other knife that's like that. Let's check these washers. So we should have Teflon on the blade and then the bronze on the Teflon. And these washers actually look pretty polished up. I wonder if Craig didn't have this knife apart because all this looks pretty good in here. Same thing down here. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. Well, I mean, I got it apart. Let's go ahead. We'll just wipe it down. Who cares? I'm assuming that you got in it and then maybe you didn't. And I had an opportunity to kind of tune it up, clean it up, lube it up, you know, that kind of thing. And I passed. So I'm going to go ahead and get at it. Let's take that Teflon washer off. And then our little bronze washer. Yep. Pretty simple. All right. Let's do some wiping. Maybe I get back in frame. How about that? I think the reason I'm out was because I put all of this at the edge of the table here. Let's move up a little bit. Give me some room. Get rid of this. And this. All right. Like the stonewash on this blade too. I'm trying to think if I'm familiar with seeing that very much on cold steel product. I don't know that I am, but I really like it. It gives the knife a used feel, and I think it's lending to me thinking that maybe this knife had been pocketed, but I can't find any wear on the knife, so I'm kind of retracting that whole train of thought. Like I think I was out of line there with that. I'm going to put just a tiniest little drop of lube where this runs through this milling here. Yep, right there. I like the black liners, the lighter gray G10. It's a good look, and it does make it look old, kind of weathered, you know. Definitely knocked down properly, cleaned up. I wonder if I should polish that. I think I'm gonna. I got my belt right here. Let's just put a little polish on it. Yeah, I'm not feeling a burr or anything there, so I'm not gonna go too far with it. Nope, pretty smooth. Let's do the other one. Yeah, pretty smooth. That one was a little hairy. I felt it, but smooth now. Okay. Doesn't take much. Actually, maybe the better way to say that is it takes very little to just clean those up. A little bit on a belt. Static electricity got this Teflon washer going. sticking good. All right, here we go. All right, well, let's put it back together. We're all done cleaning and doing our thing. Because we're on steel liners, I'm going to lube under these washers. I'm going to just, not much, but just a little bit under that washer, because it most definitely will not hurt that action. It might help it. I'm not saying it's gonna, but it might. Because that washer could definitely turn on that steel liner. All right, where's our blade? Did I put some on top of that? Nope. There we go. Nice. Nice. I mean, that's a lot of oil I'm putting in here, and we may end up a little over oiled, but it's okay. I ain't gonna hurt nothing. A little extra oily. All right, now we got to get our spring for our lock in here. And so what I have found is to kind of inchworm it, get it in on both sides with the hump, and then press flat. And then you can kind of twist it a little bit, and that'll allow it to go flat so that you can get your scale on top of it. Yeah. Couldn't be any easier, right? Like, they almost designed this one for you to take it apart, clean it up, maintenance it. It's awful easy to function this piece. From a maintenance perspective, disassembly, assembly. Wouldn't surprise me in conversations with, the rep or the design team, whatever, that they said, yeah, that was part of our considerations. And I did something wrong. I put that in upside down. Idiot. There's one in every video. It's usually me. Oh, yeah. Not one mistake. I meant one idiot. Yeah, there's one idiot in every video. Wait a minute, dude. You're the only one in the video. Oh, that's right. I wonder what that means. Yeah, I gotta get that spring. There it is. All right. Start over. Mutt. Dummy. Dunce. I should have known that it wasn't locking up right. But no. Like I said, there's one in every video, man. And you're listening to them. So I say about you. Sitting here listening to an idiot. But I corrected course quick, right? I mean, tell me I haven't rode in the front of the pack. I've been there. Front left. For those in the know. Long time. All right. I like it. All right. How tight are we here? Let's go with snug, and then we'll take it from there. Might be too loose. Yeah, I got a little wiggle in it. Let's get rid of the wiggle. I don't need no wiggle. Yeah, that was off quite a bit. Now we're too tight. Yeah, and I mentioned this before. The difference on these cold steels between perfect and too tight or not tight enough, or the difference is the slightest little adjustment. Oh my goodness. I mean, I have the slightest little tick there. There it is. Ta-da. Wonderful. Man, is that nice. So good. All right. Well, let's talk on this Atlas lock. Let's talk about the action on this particular 3-inch piece engage, because there's two versions of this. There's the same scales and frame setup as the large 3.5-inch engage, and then this is a odd, different setup for a 3-inch. But there's two versions of it. So this is the off one. The action on this is first off, I'm going to say this. It's really nice, but I'm going to call it like a B plus. I don't want to oversell it. Like, somebody put this in their hand and they go, well, it's not as nice as, because it's not that kind of action. It's first of all, it's on washers. And so, do I have washers that run like they're on glass? I do. And this one runs really well. You could see that when I release that lock, it drops to my finger. It gravity drops. I'm going to upgrade it and definitely say B plus to an A minus, because it runs really, really well. Can I thumb flick it? Yeah, very nice, very snappy. I think I was saying a B to a B plus because of the Spidey flick. Me personally, I can't just, well, there, I got it. I guess it's practice, right? Like, it's really good. I'm going to say A minus. It's really nice. Ergonomics. So it's one of my favorites on the Atlas lock. It feels wonderful in hand. I love the grip. Like, I don't feel like I'm coming off. I feel like I'm locked in. Nice platform for the thumb. Reasonable finger guard created here where I'm packed in there. Not so confident, very confident. It's a confident grip. I'm packed in here. This is deep enough that my index finger is behind here, and I'm confident I could come forward with this knife, work hard with it, and not come up and over onto that blade with my fingers. Yeah, I like it. Very nice ergonomics. The pocket clip is inconsequential. It's in there, but I don't really notice it. I like it. Let's, speaking of the pocket clip, how well does it run? I'm going to expect it to run well. It's a little loose, and I can tell you on the thick stuff, I'm hitting these screws. So neither the clip nor the screws are recessed on this knife. And so on this thick stuff, I'm running right into them. Yeah. And there's not a ton of tension on this clip. Yeah, so not enough tension here. This is standard jean size material, and this knife will fall right out of the pocket. Yep, there's no tension there really at all. My spot in the back pocket is going to be the same. It'll just fall right out of the pocket. It didn't there, but it will. Yeah, so I could put some tension on that, but I think I'm going to leave it for Craig. It's his piece, and here's the other thing that's going to happen. If I put tension on that, it's going to close the gap there. So then on standard material where it's running in there now, if I put tension on that, it may hang up like it is here. So boom, it's hanging up on that lip and the screw. Well, if I put tension on it, it may do that there as well. I mean, it's barely avoiding it now. So with extra tension, there's a good chance it's going to hang up. So I'll leave it. Let's check it for safety real quick. You know, obviously there's not going to be any blade contact there. It's down to the tip, and the tip is way recessed. So the clip is a meh. There's not a lot of great tension there. And I mean, literally, if you ran or jogged or tumbled on the ground, I mean, I would expect this knife to come out. But the knife, as long as it's closed, I feel like I could handle it any way I want. I'm not going to make blade contact. I'm not going to touch any of them sharp parts. And so, speaking of the sharp parts, did they get this AUS 10 correct coming out? I mean, it's very sharp, but it's kind of a toothy edge. Yeah, but it's very sharp. It's got a needle for a tip, too. Yep. It's not the best sharpened cold steel that I've ever run into. It's definitely sharp, but it could be honed up and sharpened better. Matter of fact, okay, run a couple of very high passes, sharp angled passes, because I don't want to get up into this stonewash with the strop and leave any cloudy marks there. So a couple of passes, run it on a piece of wood just to knock off any burrs. Let's see if we improve that edge. Yeah, it improved it. So I think if I really took some time and stropped it, I don't think I have to reprofile it and sharpen it. Probably just some strop work. I mean, it's definitely sharp, very sticky. The only issue is it's just really toothy. Yep. Price and availability for this thing. Where are they and how much? Okay, so the spot for this particular AUS 10, G10 is Amazon. Amazon currently is selling this particular knife for $80. Now there's an anomaly. So I'm interested in this piece, but I'm interested in the S35VN version. And I mentioned that there was two versions of this 3-inch. Well, I don't think there is. I think that the picture that Amazon has is of the 3.5-inch. And they have it on sale right now on Amazon, the 3-inch S35VN. I believe it's this knife. These handles, this pocket clip, the whole thing for $87. And so I'm tempted to buy one. If I do, I'll do another video and I'll show that knife in S35VN. But I mean, for $7, I can upgrade from the AUS 10. And that's a crazy price. Like every place else I looked, this knife is over $100. So even to get it for $80 on Amazon in the AUS 10 is pretty solid. The only hesitation I would have is for this pocket clip. You know, if it had a standard cold steel pocket clip, I'd probably be all over it. Well, I would be. I would have already ordered it. Like before I got back to this video, I'd have put one in. This pocket clip gives me hesitation. So I'm going to have to think on that. But yeah, Amazon looks like the spot. $80 for this. And right now, they're showing that you can upgrade to the S35VN. Same knife, except black G10 for $87, which it's on a crazy sale. I think it's like 20 or 30% off for it. So anyways, I appreciate you watching the Engage 3-inch G10 AUS 10 steel. Pretty cool. Nice knife. Appreciate y'all watching.